Hello, my name is Rosanamod, and welcome to the rosanamod podcast. Want to modify your life? That is corny, but I'm going to keep it in there. This variety show brainstorms solutions for everyday challenges, unlocks your secret potential, think outside the box with creative ideas that improve your business and your life. Get inspired with special guests, get motivated with how-to projects for the whole family, and learn that life is too short for anything less than being happy. Laugh with me or at me, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to laugh. Good morning, everybody. This is Rosanamod, and welcome to Rosanamod podcast. And this is my morning voice. I wanted to share because this is what I sound like after a long night of snoring and before I have my coffee. Isn't that horrendous, really? I can go a higher octave, but it kind of bothers me if I force it. So right now it's just relaxed. And I like to not force my voice at all to change the sound or anything. I don't smoke. I didn't scream last night or anything. It's just a long night of snoring, and I can tell because it feels, it hurts a little bit when I swallow, so that's how I know I've been snoring. And plus my dog isn't in my bed. She's really far away, so she knows, oh man, mommy is loud. Let's get away. So anyway, a voice is subjective. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. It depends, on who's listening. There's always going to be at least one person, that's not going to like you at all, regardless what you say, or what you sound like. So it doesn't matter. So the point is, don't worry about it. Just let it go. Just don't worry about what other people think. The perception, which I hate that word, but the perception of what people have shouldn't be anything that you need to worry about. And it shouldn't be something that you think about because it's deterring you from becoming the person that you want to be, because it's getting in the way of your flow. Second episode that I did about bloopers. I wasn't going to publish that. I was not. It was just a practice. It sounded kind of funky in the way, like that maybe it sounded like I was faking it, but no, I wasn't faking it at all. I was actually trying to make it better, and then I was going to go back in and edit all the the crappy parts and keep all the good parts. That's what I was doing. That's why it sounded like I was almost trying too hard. I was. And then after I heard it, I thought, it does sound like I'm trying too hard. It sounds phony. And then I almost for like a second worried, what are people going to think? They're going to think I'm corny or that. You know what? I don't care what people think. I'm doing this for the ones that do care. Because if you don't care, you're not going to listen anyway. So if you're not going to listen anyway, then that's fine. I don't care. I have my favorite podcasts on my radio, on my Spotify or my iHeart. I have my little libraries, and those are the things that I like to listen to. And you have your libraries of the things you like to listen to. So it doesn't matter. But I think it's important that we talk about the voices and what they sound like, because if you don't like the way you sound, then that's a problem you have. And you need to really look at that and ask yourself, why are you worried about how other people are going to see you? Because that trickles in effect in other parts of your life. It's not just the podcasting, is it? It's other things. Maybe you're worried about other things as well. Is your, self-esteem intact? Is your confidence intact? Is there a reason why you're not confident or you don't feel confident when you do a little show? Why not? Do you not feel the content is good enough to sustain your credibility? That even though I know some people will hear it and be turned off immediately and say, oh, I can't listen to that. Her S's are too sharp or whatever. Or her voice is too whiny or too nasally or too deep or too high pitch or too scratchy. I'm not going to listen to it. They're going to immediately turn it off. That's fine. Okay. I can understand how most people will react to that. And maybe you do need to take care of that as far as the scratchy sounds and painful sounds that annoy most people because it doesn't sound. But the tone of your voice or the way that you sound or your accent or whatever, you shouldn't worry about that. You've got your avatar, you've got your audience picked out, you think you know who is going to be listening to you, and those are the people you need to worry about. I worry about those people, the ones that are here to say, who are choosing me because they want to be entertained in one way or another, or they're just wanting to learn something, or they want to laugh or whatever. This isn't a very funny podcast, but unless you think my voice is ridiculous, I don't know. But I'm going to cater to the ones that are looking to listen to me Those are the ones I'm worried about. I'm worried about you because I love you, because I care. I really do. I do. And that sounds really freaking corny, but it's true. I really do. For those that really want to hear me, and for those that are feeling like they need something from me, or they can get something out of this that makes them feel better in some way, hey, I love you. I do. I'm glad that you're here. I am so glad that you're here, that you're listening, and that something that I say resonates with a part of you that makes you feel better, or that pushes you or motivates you, or maybe even inspires you in some way to do something that you would normally do without it. Then I say good and thank you. And you're welcome, because I'm awesome. I mean, let's face it. Let's just face it. Okay? Without that. I mean, seriously, I'm really not that. Because, I'm not modest, but I'm not, and I consider it confidence. We'll talk about confidence too. I mean, if you're not confident about anything, nothing's really going to sound right. It's going to sound like you're begging all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not confident in yourself, it always sounds like you're underneath other people. I mean, that's a really bad choice of words, but it sounds like, well, it could be a good choice of words depending on on how you, wow, that's not good. All right, let's get that out of there, or let's not. Let's just keep that in there. I don't know. Warning, explicit bloopers. It's not explicit. I'm not going to curse. I am a cursing machine. I'm like a sailor. I curse all the time. And that's one of the things that really I had to stop when I was doing these things. I didn't want to sound, well, I didn't want to curse. Not because I care about what people think. Not at all. I just don't want to curse. I don't want it. I want for everybody to be able to hear it. I want, every age to be able to turn it on and listen to it, and and their parents not have to worry. Oh, it's rosanamod. She's going to say all kinds of beep, beep, let's put all that in there. She's going to, yeah, and and all those things. I just made that up. I didn't cut the tape or anything. That was just me being stupid. But I didn't want that. I wanted it to be very friendly, family friendly, and have all kinds of ages listen in, and that's really what it's about. So, okay, so I haven't had my coffee yet, and as you can see, I think my octave is a little higher right now. If you wanted to change your voice, I guess you could manipulate it, not so much with Audacity, but just with your normal human trial and error. I mean, you can try listening to what you sound like early in the morning as opposed to late at night. I'm sure there's a difference because your vocal cords have been rested or not. And then at night, after you've been talking all day, they might sound a little different. Or have a little sip of wine. I mean, I don't drink. I shouldn't say I don't drink at all, but I don't really drink. I mean, I don't really like to, unless it's socially. But I mean, if it helps your voice and you want to try a little something, have something really strong, a little vodka or something, a little shot of something, or have a nice glass of wine while you're podcasting, but don't get drunk. Just a little sip, so it's, maybe it relaxes you a little bit. Maybe if it relaxes you, it'll relax your vocal cords. Maybe you'll sound a little different. You also want to check your pauses and your flow. I know that I'm actually practicing my flow, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast so that I could practice my articulation, because being a freelance writer, it's easier for me to express myself in written form than it is in verbal form. And a lot of times when I speak, I have a lot of pauses and a lot of little, like right now, thinking about what I'm going to say next, and it doesn't flow as quickly as it does from my hands, which is strange, but it's true. But maybe that's one of the reasons you don't like the way you sound or the sound of your voice. Maybe if you had a different flow or a different style, the sound of your voice wouldn't be as impactful on your judgment as you think. Maybe you're being a little harder on yourself than you ought to, And you want to ask your friends too. You want to ask your friends and find out what they think. Try different sounds. Record yourself doing different things, Maybe try to do some vocal lessons. Go online on YouTube and how to sing. It teaches you how to speak from your, how to sing from your diaphragm. Maybe voicing is the same. I don't know. I've never looked that up, but I know that they have it. You can look that up and see if that helps. Maybe opening your vocal cords that way, it projects your voice out differently. That might be something too. So with that said, I hope that it helps someone out there. And again, this is motivational. So don't let somebody else's thoughts or feelings or opinions have anything to do with you at all. You are who you are. You're individual. You are different for reasons that you might not even be aware of. You're here for another reason you're not aware of. I mean, hit the button, publish, and just get it done. Just get it done. What was that? There's a quote I heard, and I can't remember where I heard it, but soonest begun, soonest done. Just do it. As soon as you stop listening to this, I want you to go out and buy yourself a mic. You hear me? It was scary because I didn't feel like I had any content that was good enough for people to listen to. It's going to be just useless banter, Some people have podcasts that they just sit there and talk about nothing, or they talk about their life and what's happening with their life. Like, I don't know you. I don't know. I mean, some people might want to do that. Personally, I didn't want that to be the podcast here. I want it to be educational. I wanted people to benefit somewhat from it and actually empower them to improve their life on some kind of level, whether it's personal or business, romantic or whatever. Somehow I want it to be impactful in a positive way. And that's what this is all about. Keeping it positive, no negativity, no, sadness here. I don't want any of that. I don't need any of that. Nobody needs any of that, okay? Life is good. Life is what you make it. Life is just what you want it to be. I think that's a song from, I forgot who sings that song. Who sings that? Life is just what you make it. Life is just what you want it to be. Da, 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 da. I can't remember. I'm going to look it up, but whatever. That song right there. And sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Sometimes you can really learn from the older generation, and I really hope that you take that into account also. But that's another episode. So right now, this was about voices. I hope you love your voice. I hope you love yourself. God doesn't give you broken things. He gives you things that are, for you, necessary for whatever reason there is. Just embrace it. Embrace it, whatever it sounds like. Embrace your imperfection. Embrace your failure, because you learn from those failures. No matter how hard they are, you learn from them. And sooner or later, you're going to see it's going to come back, and you're going to use it, and you're going to remember your failure, and it's going to make so much of a difference in your life, all because you failed. So lesson learned, okay? That's it for now, and ciao.